Welcome to the One Fall WrestleCast.
Fall!
Hey, we're on a roll, guys.
I know, right?
We're on a roll. Good stuff. Gentlemen, how we doing?
Terrible. How are you?
I'm great. I'm on vacation.
You've been on vacation for way too long. So, Tom, would you like to elaborate on your great week that you've been having?
So, yeah, I will actually a little bit. So, my parents got COVID. They're fine, but that means I was exposed. So I had to get a test. I'm fine. I don't have it. On top of that, my house is like 80-some-ish years old, and the stack that drains from the main part of the house, which is really just the original bathroom, that's up here across from me. That stack is made of cast iron. And anyway, it rusted and cracked. The act of replacing that is basically coming in the guy with a big ass saw and like tearing through your drywall where the break is, and then also cutting it out. Luckily, it's accessible in the basement, but there's a big hunk of drywall now taken out of my my half bath downstairs, which is wonderful because although the plumber will fix the leak, I'm gonna have to fix the drywall, which is
that's fun.
Yeah, right. It's not that big of a deal. I just have to get a piece of drywall and sawzall it out right and fit it in there and nail it to the one little piece of wood that I have to nail it to, and then try to make it look nice and then paint over. Luckily, it's like behind where the vanity is, like I hang a mirror over it and all that jazz, but at the same time it just sucks. It's just another thing on top of another thing on top of another thing on top of another thing. I turned 36 too, which is fun.
Well, you kind of took my thunder there, pal. I was going to tell you happy birthday after everything was over here.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I turned 36, which was fun.
Yeah. It's that was just sprinkled in the middle there.
Another year older and fatter, dumber.
I, however, was not going to sing this week. I know you guys had plans to sing last week, but there were no plans for me to sing. I was going to do the confetti gimmick and tell you happy birthday, but you took it from me. So
what are you, LeBron James with the?
Sorry, should have streamers.
Tom, you're my MVP.
Well, thanks. I appreciate it. I feel more like the LVP or the most out of control player. But hey, it's cool. I have beer. I have backup beers. I'm in a salty mood.
Would that make him Montel Vontavious, Tom?
Yes. I'm in a salty mood, so we can do some saltiness.
Well, I mean, Derek, did you have a better week, or
I really didn't have anything exciting. Nothing. I went to work. I came home. Everything is wrapped under the tree. Done. I got nothing to buy, nothing to wrap, nothing to do except for sit and wait on Christmas.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, what's that like?
Well, it took a lot of planning. I started about a month ago.
Yeah, I haven't even started yet.
I don't want to deal with people. I order all that shit online, and I'm done. Thank you, Amazon, Jeff Bezos. You got probably about $500,000 from me into your multi-billion-dollar company there, pal. So you're welcome.
Amazon and Target. I wish they could. I used to make a joke when my when my son was first born. They could have paid me in Target gift cards. It would have been the same. Really
Target? That was your jam?
Target was my jam because it was the diapers, it was the formula, it was it was all that food.
I feel you.
Hey, so you know who did have a good week this week? Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch.
Well, it depends on your definition of good.
Well, I mean, they think it's good right now, but we'll see how they feel next week.
Yeah, I mean, congratulations to them. They deserve.
For sure.
I mean, when Seth got kicked in the head by Sheamus, I was like, oh, it's baby time. All right, Seth. But yeah, congrats to them. From all of my knowledge, they both seem to be lovely people, and I wish them nothing but the best. Best of luck to being new parents, because it's not fun. I've done it twice, and you don't get to sleep. So I can't imagine how tough that would be as a not only a professional wrestler, but like the toppiest tier of professional wrestling. I'm clearly not that. I kind of hang out in this office and work with the Venom and Thor posters behind me. But kudos to them. I wish them all the best.
It's gonna be good, man. Happy for him. And also today is the late great Rick Rude's birthday. Would have been 62 today.
God, what a good wrestler Rick Rude was.
Oh, yeah, sure was.
The only decent Ultimate Warrior matches were against Rick Rude, and it was only because of Rick Rude and Bobby Heenan. Had nothing to do with the Ultimate Warrior. Rick Rude, though, amazing. Nobody took an atomic drop like Rick Rude. Nobody. And I challenge you to go. To Rick Rude Takes Atomic Drops on Twitter and just watch.
Yeah.
The dude is just, he takes them as though you punted his butthole up into his stomach. And it's hilarious every time. He walks around, And sometimes he sells the groin, sometimes it's the butthole. It's good every time. Every time it's good.
Certainly, this week we lost Pat Patterson.
Oh, R.I.P. Pat.
Yeah,
man, that was a sad one.
Although apparently there was some ring boy scandalages with Pat, but hey, we'll let the dead rest in peace.
Yeah, I didn't read any of the drama concerning him.
Yeah, well, it only comes out because when was the last time you heard about Pat Patterson? Dude's been like when he won the 24/7 championship.
Yeah,
last year.
Yep.
Last year.
And then Mutton Chops Briscoe pinned him.
And he's yelling there. Briscoe did pin him, and Patterson laid there. You stooge! That would be that's my lasting memory of Pat Patterson.
Listen,
Briscoe, calling him a stooge.
Their little rivalry whenever they were the Stooges, trying to get the attention of Mr. McMahon. That was some good stuff. That was tremendous. I love that. Yeah, that was some good stuff.
That was so good. But yeah.
So this week, gentlemen, I've pretty solid week in wrestling this week, huh?
Yeah, it wasn't too shabby.
Hey,
I was not mad at it.
Why? Do you know why?
Why?
Joey Janela came back and he was in that battle royal.
Did. I was hoping you guys saw that. I mean, I'm sure you couldn't have missed it because it was great. Of course, as always.
That battle royal.
The fat boy Joey Janela.
The fat boy. That battle royal was a hot piece of garbage. Until the end. The end was fine. I didn't hate the way the end was, but like the whole beginning down till they were down. You know what? Even the end when we forgot about Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, and I was confused because there was two winners there. It just took me a second. I
forgot about it too.
Figured it out, but yeah, it was just kind of an odd finish of like, oh, okay, so why is the bell ringing?
Yeah, it shocked me too. And it's like, they get they have to fight each other.
Now there's another match because we can't finish it here. Yeah. Couldn't we have just put somehow Orange Cassidy with MJF? I guess not because it doesn't make sense. So why are we doing it now? Sorry, guys.
I don't like Orange Cassidy. I don't like Joey Janela. I don't like that he's back. I do like MJF.
Never in my entire life did I imagine that I would hear Orange Cassidy and Joey Janela in the same sentence. That's terrible.
Well, they're terrible. I mean, if I were to say Orange Cassidy and Joey Janela are terrible at wrestling, that's the same sentence. Not only is it the same sentence, it's correct.
Oh my God!
It's correctly
blasphemy that you do,
and it could be written in a second grade English book. And it would be fact.
That would make sense because it would be that's a second grade wrestling mindset.
So
out of your mind, sir. Wow.
Orange Cassidy sucks.
Orange Cassidy deserves better than you, anyways.
What do they call his Superman punch? Because Excalibur yelled the orange punch. What he started doing, they called
What's wrong with that?
It's a Superman punch.
Love it. Love it.
He's not Roman. He's not Roman Reigns.
Maybe he's Roman Reigns AEW style. You know, like when you order from Wish.
Yeah. I don't know. Wish just shows me like a lot of weird sexual bondage stuff.
Right?
I don't get it.
All up in my Facebook feed.
I've never ordered a single thing from Wish, but it's
neither.
It's like, hey, do you want this weird, creepy, like bondage mask with the long nose? No.
I tried hard to defend Orange Cassidy, but I've got nothing. I mean, what am I?
What did he do for the whole match? Too? He just like they killed him for like 30 minutes, and he just laid there.
He was over there with his hands in his pockets, waiting to punch somebody. He was just getting amped up. He was amping up.
Okay, well, sounds like he sucks to me, but you know that's fine.
So the big news this week in wrestling, the biggest news I would say, coming out of AEW, Sting has made his return to the wrestling ring.
Anyway,
what are we doing?
I mean, you can't tell how old he is when he puts the makeup on.
Ah, man, it was pretty rough.
For the hair. The hair. The hair's real bad.
That's why they put the snow in there, so that it would kind of fill it in the front.
Yeah.
With the face paint and the...
I mean, to be fair, I've seen him lately in like stuff. Like he was on WWE for something. I want to say like Table for Three or something like last year. So it's not like Sting hasn't been in stuff.
I actually read a story today that apparently he was trying to get into creative with WWE and pitch them ideas and trying to get on the show, and Vince just didn't see any value in him. So what's he supposed to do?
I mean, truth be told, I normally I would say I disagree with Vince, but I kind of agree with Vince. At this point, it's like it's fine like for a Wednesday night pop. And you know what? Sting being on AEW, sure, it popped everybody on Wednesday. It was a big news. And see him for the first time back in a ring. His debut didn't really make a lot of sense to me. The match that was going on didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I mean, I guess I don't watch tons of AEW, but like Darby Allin just beat Cody Rhodes for the TNT title, and now they're tag team partners. And I mean, it seemed like a good enough match. I mean, they're all capable enough wrestlers that
this was like the third week in a row, this pairing.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I know it's been a consistent thing. It just doesn't. It still to me doesn't seem like a. I don't know why, and it's not like they have this like top overlord of Vince McMahon that's like, you two are partners now. It's like, but he just beat me for the title. It's not that. That's not even the like. There isn't that like level of authority. You know, is Tony Khan that guy? I don't think so. But and then Sting kind of popped out during that match, which I still can't wrap my head around. Why'd Sting show up? He didn't save anybody. He just showed up with a bat.
Yeah. I read a fan theory that was something along the lines of, he came in, he cleared out the heels, and then, he walked over to Arn Anderson. They were rivals back in the day, and then he, eye to eye with Arn. And then, he walked over and he looked down on Dustin because they're not on the same level. And then he went and he knelt down to Cody's level because he respects him as a peer. And then, looked at both sides of Darby's face and was like, hey, you're the next guy, that kind of thing. I don't know. It kind of made a little bit of sense because I actually read that before I watched it because, the Sting return was already public by then. But, I had read that. And I mean, I could see that, but I feel like that's reaching. I feel like that's a deep reach.
I caught the tail end of it live, so I did see that part live. I didn't see the start of that match, but I saw the end of that match. And I don't know. I mean, I was never a WCW faithful, so for me, it's like to see Sting is like, oh, well, that's kind of neat, but it doesn't pop me in the same way that like Maybe it does for other people. I mean, I don't know, Derek, if you have some more feelings for Sting than I do. If you felt more.
I mean, he was never my man crush in WCW.
Connected.
That's for sure. I wasn't a huge
you were
guy at all. What?
You were too busy riding Alex, right?
I mean, we've got the same name, bro. How can I not? How you guys support the family? There was. I didn't realize that he was a dick dancer. I'm sorry. I've explained this. But here's the thing that I think about Sting, man. I really like that he came back. That's great. But it could have been better because I feel like in AEW, as much as I love it, we're already oversaturated with these throwback, used
veterans?
to be stars, veterans. Yeah.
It's becoming TNA. Like when TNA sort of became over
actually
Hulk Hogan
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's becoming that.
I mean, you've got like Arn Anderson, Jake the Snake. You've got Sting now, apparently. You've got Taz. Like, you might as well have Tommy Dreamer. Well,
you got JR. You got JR on.
There it is. Tony Schiavone.
Yeah.
It's a nostalgia show, boys.
I mean, you got Chris Jericho.
You can watch Dreamer on Tuesday. And now apparently we're going to watch some AEW on Tuesday.
And now it's going to be they're having a cross episode tomorrow. Well, tomorrow.
Interesting.
To me, it was like, I agree. It's one of those things where, like, I liked to see it, and it'll be interesting to see. Oh, they have Tully, too. Don't forget about Tully.
Yep.
Yeah,
Tully
that's a big one.
He pulls double duty.
Yeah, he does. I don't dislike Tully. I never did dislike him. I think he's cool, but they've got like half the Horsemen. And now they have Sting. And it's not like 80s like surfer like Sting with it's the Crow Sting. Which I guess is the better gimmick. I don't know how you come back and like, but I feel like the other one was, I don't know. It's all sort of, to me, like what's Sting gonna do? It's like not like he's gonna put on these amazing matches. He's not gonna get physical really much at all. He might hit people with a bat. That might be fun.
Yeah, I mean, he's 61 years old. I mean, at what point is this going to be of diminishing return for AEW? Like, they signed Sting to a multi-year deal. For what?
Yeah.
For what?
I couldn't even tell you what he's going to do.
He's going to come out of the rafters again.
I don't know what he's going to do next Wednesday that's going to be useful. Like the debut is cool, but like, what's the long-term? Why would I be interested in this past Christmas?
I mean, I don't understand where the thought process is.
I feel like there's a lot of irons in the fire, and they don't have maybe they do have a solid plan. We should trust in the process, but
should we though?
There's a lot of irons in the fire to keep turning,
should
try to keep all these stories straight.
Because I feel like the process is like throwing a lot of spaghetti at the wall. And like some of it sticks, some of it still hits the floor, and they pick that spaghetti back up and throw it at the wall again. And it's not like the most sane. Some stuff works. I'm not saying that like AEW far and away was a good show this week, and I'm not.
Oh yeah,
like this was the best AEW show I've seen in a while, because a lot of them that I've watched begrudgingly lately have been just horrid. And this one wasn't terrible. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't terrible. And we didn't even talk about, after. Here's the other thing that kind of like pisses me off too, is that like once they did the Sting thing, which was obviously the high point, right? Like that's the thing everybody's been talking about. That's the pinnacle. Then there was a title match, like an AEW title match that went kind of a long time, sort of ish. And
I thought it ran long.
It ran, not only did it run long, it had a screwy finish. I watched it the first time I watched it, I was like, did I hate
over 30 minutes? It was way too long, boys.
Well, the first time I watched it, I was like, did I hate that because I don't like Kenny Omega, or did I hate that because it sucked? And then so I let it marinate. And then like I sort of like fast forward watched it again, and it coming back to it again. I like Jon Moxley. I think what Jon Moxley does is good, but I feel like AEW as a whole, as a booking, and just the way this match was booked was the epitome of why they don't know what they're doing. Because it was very clear to me that Kenny Omega booked this match as a Kenny Omega heel, and because it had all the showmanship. Oh no, he might be injured. I don't know if he can continue. Get away from him, John. That to me pulls me right out of a match immediately when they're like, because he wasn't even down that long. Truth be told, it's toward the end of the match when he chucked him in, when he like DDT'd him into that heater. I don't know why there was a heater there. Maybe it was cold, but whatever. But
I believe that was the part where they were trying to sell that they have to save them from themselves because they just don't want to give up.
Whatever. It was dumb.
It was terrible.
It was really stupid because it was really stupid. And then what's his face from Impact comes out.
Don Callis.
Yeah. There we go. And he's all like interfering, and he gets a punch in the mouth. And I don't care how many times I see it. I get that it's a neat looking move. The one-winged angel makes no sense to me. It's the worst finisher in wrestling. Nobody would let you put you up on their show. Go ahead. Okay, I'm like a 235-pound man. I'm not as strong or as that athletic as any of the dudes who would be in my weight class in AEW. Go ahead, Kenny Omega. Try to get me up on your shoulders. Just try. Because it will never happen ever. Ever, 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 ever in the history of Kenny Omega's life or anybody's life. It will never, ever happen. It's stupid. It's so implausible that he could be like, oh, I'm going to get down and I'm going to get under your crotch and I'm going to lift you up. It's dumb. It sucks. It's a terrible move. It's like, oh, and they sell it like it's like just this amazing, like, oh, it's so protected. Nobody kicks out of the one-winged angel. And
it looks cool.
Can we get a hold of Kenny's agent and just find out how much it would cost for him to fly down here in one-winged angel Tom? And we can get that on video.
It would probably cost more than we have.
Yeah, definitely.
I got a plumber's bill to pay, and I have to patch drywall.
We'll throw that in there. It's called pork barreling.
Oh,
you know that.
Oh, we're talking. Oh, it's a bill now. Oh, well, in that case, yeah, let's do that.
Unbelievable. No, I thought the match was terrible. I was not a fan at all.
What a stinker! And to have Jon Moxley lose the title over that, like, had that gone 10 minutes, you know what? I wouldn't have hated it. It would have been like, oh, okay, I get it. That's fine. It would have just been fine. But no, they had to like try to eclipse the Sting debut, which they didn't. Clearly,
no, it did not need 30 minutes.
And they were like, best bout machine. Kenny Omega hasn't been the best bout machine since he left Japan.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that, man.
Somebody else booked his matches in Japan, and it was Okada, who is the best. And Kenny Omega doesn't know what he's doing. And people listen to him like he knows what he's doing. But then I watch it, and it's like, oh, Kenny Omega did this. And he doesn't know.
All right, here you go. So we're shitting all over this thing. Okay. Derek, why don't you tell Tom what you told me before we came in?
Dave Meltzer rated it 4.5 stars, bud.
Dave Meltzer know what he's talking about. Look,
that's exactly what we said. Look, you know what I was telling? Well, I think, and I know we just talked a lot of shit, but it was all name recognition. If we want to do it honestly, I would say 3.5 would be being very nice.
Yes.
Yes.
I'd give it 2.
Well, you know, it is all personal opinion.
2, because this is habitual. This is habitual bullshittery from Kenny Omega. This is habitual. He is a habitual line stepper. He is a habitual bullshitter, and this is habitual. And I don't like it because now he's the champ, and he ran away. Look, I'm not watching Impact this week. I don't give a crap who's on Impact. I don't watch Impact anyway. They've got people that I like way better than Kenny Omega. I'm not watching Impact because Kenny Omega's on it. Maybe some people will, And I'm not saying you're wrong for doing it because it's clearly a special episode, but Kenny Omega does not draw me to Impact.
Listen, all I'm saying, Tom, is Derek is the proud new owner of the Impact Wrestling app.
That's fine.
That's true.
Hey, yeah. Look.
They got
the brand. It's for the brand.
For the brand. There you go.
You can fill us in. It's for the. I'm glad somebody's going to watch it. I'm glad it's not me. And truthfully, I'm glad it's you because if it was me, I would just be like, so I watch this stupid idiot shit. This fat dumbass came out.
Yeah, I'm not gonna shit all over it. I'll try to
put fat dumbass number 2, and then fat dumbass number 3 came out, and then there was a Rosemary segment, and that was all right. And then some more fat dumbasses slapped together like a bunch of fat dumbasses, and that was it.
It was actually the Sue Young Dana Perazzo segment that got me.
I like them actually.
Yeah,
I do like that. Look, the thing about Impact that I think is cool because, and I will watch parts of it on YouTube after the fact, is that I think that they have had consistently the second best women's division for years now.
Yeah,
their women's division. I mean, clearly, even with Tessa just having gone, but she was part of that before she became their world champion, she was the biggest star. Like making her the world champion was a no-brainer. Yeah. It made all the sense in the world. I watched that. It was fine. It made sense. But they've
TNA has all these flashes, and then it goes real bright, and then nothing.
Boom. Not even nothing. It goes from like real bright to like fat
high school gym.
Yeah, real bad. Like just not watchable. Like just not watchable. But their women's division's always been solid and very consistently good. It's you get the WWE women, and we'll throw the NXT women in with the WWE women because Impact can't compete with either of that. But then Impact is like just there below it. And then you got the AEW women's division, which is getting better because they've brought in a lot of the NWA women's division. But it's fine. The Impact women's division's good. And if you're going to subscribe to watch that, I can't fault you for it because it's decent stuff.
Hey, all I'm saying is Dr. Britt looked pretty good this week.
Dr. Britt did look good this week. That was a good match.
Really?
It was for her.
For her. Well, is that the standard we go by now?
No, bud. But Baker you gotta do the math
Baker standard. I like that. Yes, by the Baker standard, that was all right. That was a good match.
They've got to build her up as their monster heel, and they're doing it right.
And so don't you, because you're wearing the T-shirt. Otherwise, you'd be saying none of this.
No, listen.
That's a good shirt. I might need to get myself one of those.
You Pittsburgh guys.
Look, Derek, he knows if Ian's been jagoffs.
That's great.
Talking to you, buddy.
Nice. Yins are the best.
Yins. So, which leads me to the question is, dude, what, is Tom, you kind of already expanded on it a little bit. Impact and AEW's working relationship, yay or nay?
Nay. So look, interbrand stuff has never sat well with me. It's always sort of just been kind of a floating turd for me. I can't tell you that what's going to happen on Tuesday is going to be of any interest to anybody, specifically because I'm sure Kenny Omega and Don Callis are going to book it based heavily on what Kenny Omega has to say about it. So it's going to be terrible. And, people were like, oh, it's the most watched episode of Impact, and that's what you'll hear. And maybe it will be, and that's great. Good for them. Good for Impact. Look, there needs to be a bottom-tier wrestling promotion for, people from – people to bubble the cream to rise to the top, and AEW and WWF to take the best of that. That needs to happen. Gallows and Anderson are there. I think they're the best thing in Impact right now, and I thoroughly enjoyed them in WWE, and I've watched their clips in Impact, and I think that's good too. But that's 2 minutes of an hour and a half show. Yeah. As far as AEW doing stuff with Impact. I just don't. What's the win for AEW? Why does that help them?
I have a theory, but I'll get to me in a minute.
It just doesn't seem like it helps them. Like, who's gonna like? I mean, it'll elevate some of the Impact guys, but like, what AEW gets to like work with Gallows and Anderson?
Yeah, I mean that was the big news that came out of it that I saw was that Gallows and Anderson are going to do a one-off. It'll probably be against the Bucks or FTR.
They're not even that good.
What is up with FTR? Why have they been gone since they lost? Like, what is the reasoning?
I mean, I'm sure that they're just kind of letting the Bucks have the spotlight or whatever. They'll probably drop back in here in a couple of weeks, I would imagine. Maybe just taking some time off. Yeah, I mean,
it's Christmas.
It could be anything, you know. It could be
pandemic.
Spend a little bit of time at home. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it rounds out. But at the same point in time, it's allowing a lot of other tag teams to kind of stake their claim. I mean, I think the Butcher and the Blade have looked pretty good the last few weeks.
They've improved a good. They went from like sort of a weird, what the hell, and especially I remember when they came out and like Excalibur was like, "It's the Butcher and the Blade," and everybody was like, "How do you know who these people are?"
JR was like, I don't know who they are.
How do you know who they are?
Wasn't that the tag team that he was like, I should know it? It's written on his ass.
Yeah,
yes. I believe that was them.
That was it. But because his butt said the Blade.
Yeah.
I don't remember if I think the Butcher had it on his coat.
Yeah,
does he still have a monocle? I haven't been paying attention.
Yeah,
the monocle's a good gimmick.
I mean, he scratched it for a little while when they were trying to. I feel like they were trying to like modernize them a little bit, but don't touch their gimmick.
I never needs to go. It actually needs to be evolved.
Yeah, yes. The monocle's
two
good.
monocles. One on each side.
Yeah. Well, then those are called glasses, pal.
No, I don't want them connected. I just want them to be monocles.
He only puts one in at a time. The other one hangs, and then sometimes he needs to take the one out and put the other one in and like look at something. That's
he's near and farsighted.
Bingo. Double monocled.
Oh, Derek, what do you think about AEW and impact on a working relationship?
Shit, I forget. I don't know. You know what I think is it got me to buy it. It got me to take a look at it. I've been DVRing it for since I've had a DVR, but I haven't really checked it out unless it was, say, late in the day, 4 a.m. I'm bored. I've watched all my wrestling for the week that I feel like watching. I'm sitting here trying to play some Xbox or something and have some background noise on the other screen. And that would be TNA for me. But instead, this past week, I actually sat down and took the time to watch it and was pleasantly surprised with what I found. And went ahead and was like, well, they got a pay-per-view coming up. They're advertising that a little bit. They've got their own little side WWE network here. So I'll toss you $8 a month and see what you got. And we'll see. I don't know.
And if it sucks, you only lost $8.
Yeah, it's not like it's the end of the world. Would it have been nice to get a 30-day free trial? Thank you, WWE, of course. But I suppose since Anthem is apparently broke, they can have my $8.
Wait, Anthem is what?
That's like their parent company.
Oh, I thought you were playing Anthem on Xbox.
Oh, no. Sorry.
Playing Anthem? Why would you play Anthem now?
That was a deep cut there, I guess.
Did they put up the Christmas decorations?
Yeah, so it's the new season.
Hey, I'm feeling a little Christmassy, huh?
You're looking a little green and red.
You are. You do look like you're about to sell me some like Bootio's Christmas cereal here.
You ought to have black and yellow back there with your shirt.
They lost.
They did.
Yeah, whatever. It's fine.
For me, here's my thought on the AEW and Impact Wrestling co-branding agreement. We all know that we feel like AEW doesn't have enough time to develop characters, develop their storylines, develop their talent even.
Does Impact have a training facility? If they do,
No, but you're thinking along my lines. Actually, what I'm saying is, I think that AEW is going to pay Impact a bunch of money to develop their future talent, just like NXT does for the WWE main roster.
I mean, there would have to be some significant change in leadership for that to happen. I don't see that.
I'm. It's just in my mind. I feel like that's the move. That's what they're trying to accomplish with it, and that's what they're gonna try to pull it off.
I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm just saying that I don't think that's what's going to happen.
Well, they've already started something like that with NWA, but I can't be for certain. But I would assume they've already taken the best 2 to 3 women they already had, because you got obviously Thunder Rosa, and then there wasn't there the redhead lady.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
she came from there as well.
Yeah,
and Diamante.
Yeah, so I'm guessing they're done picking their bones. So it would make sense that they move on to them. But I'm with Tom on this one. I don't see them. I mean, you know what? I know what's going to happen here in about 2 months. Like, you know what, boys? I told you. You can call your shot, but I'm going to go ahead and put it in my phone now that 6 months from now, I'll give you 6 months, and then we get to call you on it.
Truthfully, if they want to pick the bones of a company, Ring of Honor's got a better potential. They have better potential talent in Ring of Honor than they do in Impact. I feel like Impact is a bunch of losers, whereas Ring of Honor is like fresh faces. Yeah, they're losers. They're losers. Look.
Tell us how you really feel, bud.
Their top guys are Anderson or Gallows and Anderson. So look, don't tell me Festus is some kind of a like top guy. All right. Look, I'm not here. I'm not buying into this. No. Festus is the man now. Festus is the man. His little wee fell out on the thing that they used to do when they look for the newest WWE stars or whatever.
Tough enough.
Yeah, his wee fell out. It was terrible. It was a little in the sand. His whole pants came down. Terrible. So bad. Sand, tiny penis. Sorry, Festus.
Wow.
And Carl Anderson. While Machine Gun Carl may have been cool in Japan when he was hanging out with Finn Balor oozes cool while Festus does not. Impact sucks. I'm sorry. It's not good. What was Sami Callihan was their world champion for kind of a long time. He's terrible. He's not even like good at he's real bad. He looks like just a dumpy looking dude. Like,
from what I understand, he might be a trash human too. I don't know.
I think he is. I mean, most of them are. They're like Impact is like it's like the bottom of the dumpster for like when for some reason you've pushed your way into like being on wrestling TV, but like WWE's like, nah, sorry, pal, you suck.
I can give you a perfect example of that, and I kind of feel bad about this because I was actually thinking about it the other day. But Rich Swann would be a name that I think of. That is the exact person that I think of whenever I think of, you're a wrestling name, but you're a trash human.
Yes.
Because he has some domestic violence issues, which ended up moving him to the unemployment line. And here we see him now.
So he beat the tar out of his girlfriend and was arrested and immediately fired, rightfully so. And then Impact picked him up.
Yep.
So, you know what? Look.
And he's been their champion. But they, I mean, I know I'm supposed to be, but damn, you got me on a tirade now.
Because I'm right, man. It's hard. Look, it's hard to argue with somebody when they're just right. Okay? It's hard to argue with somebody when they're just right.
I wish you would have been awake whenever we were texting back and forth about me picking up TNA.
Right. I'm just saying, Impact is going to feed AEW just like NXT. The writing's on the wall.
I mean,
they're going to get them on.
Doing better, I would believe it.
They're going to get them on TNT.
Money. They're going to. He's already bleeding money.
They're going to put them on TNT, and their ad revenue is going to go through the roof. This is what this is all about. I'm telling you. You want to talk about AEW, talking about adding an extra hour of television every week? Just found it.
Going to be an Impact show?
Just found it.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be good for AEW. I mean, I agree with you that they'll probably pick their bones in the level of like they will take we'll take all your good guys.
I mean, if they're smart, they'll take their women's division.
Yeah, absolutely. That's I feel like I said that like a while ago. Like,
you did.
Take the whole thing.
That and Moose. I like Moose.
Moose is fine. They can have Moose. They can take Moose too.
All right, thank you.
What what are they going to do with him? They've got Brian Cage, who's a big imposing guy.
At least Moose isn't on steroids.
But they've got Lance Archer that they don't know what to do with. What are you going to give him another big guy for?
They can just want big guys smacking into each other. I love big guys crashing into each other.
The only reason they don't do anything with Lance Archer is because he's stuck with a horrible manager in Jake the Snake Roberts. I'm sorry, but Jake the Snake Roberts sucks at this point in life. I don't even,
I mean, he's sucked for a long time.
We're
20 years into the suck of Jake the Snake Roberts.
Listen, he did his job,
but he still sounds like a drunken 60-year-old man that sucks.
He's got emphysema, pal.
Boring. Yeah. Well, he might sit at home, pal. Yeah.
He might be. He needs money. He gets it at home.
Yeah.
There's no money at home.
Got to get paid, pal.
Why are we paying him? This sucks.
Well, I'm not paying him.
I'm not paying him.
Tony Khan's paying.
I feel bad for Lance Archer.
You know what? Good for Tony. Good for Jake the Snake for
That's right.
Convincing Tony Khan to pay him.
And that's the thing. Everybody keeps talking about, AEW knows how to utilize legends, unlike WWE. No, they don't.
Tony Khan's a money mark.
All he did was buy all these legends. I love AEW, but I hate all the legends. Like
Tony Khan is a money mark. There's no way AEW is going to make money. They're spending. Look, if they were pulling in 4 or 5 million views every week, that'd be one thing. They are not pulling in. They're not making money. I'll tell you right now, they're not making money.
So I would actually like to bring up possibly an example of Walt and I listened to the which podcast was it? It was Eric Bischoff, 83 Weeks with Tony Khan as a special guest. They never do special guests, and they brought him in with Conrad to talk to Eric, and it was terrible to listen to. And for number 2, it was obvious how Tony Khan must do business. Is he walks into the room, tells you how wonderful your shit smells, and then proceeds to shower you with compliments as he pulls into his checkbook and starts, pulling out figures, I'm sure. Because this entire hour was nothing but the Eric Bischoff suckfest. And I love Bischoff. I've got the books. I've got the WCW books. I'm a huge Bischoff guy. But I couldn't even listen to this episode, man. It was ridiculous. I'm not sold on Tony Khan yet.
Like I said, I think they see him as a money mark. I think they see Tony Khan as a money mark. I think Sting saw him as a money mark because Vince didn't want to pay Sting for what I imagine are probably going to be outdated, not so great ideas that wouldn't draw ratings past the debut.
Yeah,
and that's probably what Vince saw. And we can talk about all day about how Vince is out of touch and whatever, but you know what? Man shows up at noon and writes the best episode of wrestling every week somehow.
True story.
I look. I'm not even.
And we talked about that last week. So if you want to
look, if it sucked, I would have. I would shit on it. I'm not opposed to shitting on things that suck.
Nope.
But it's true story, and I don't think that. I think Tony Khan is. I think they're using him as a money mark. I think that this goes until somebody doesn't want to pay for it anymore. And
yeah, when Shad Khan, I think that's his name, Shad Khan.
Yeah,
Tony's
dad.
Yeah. Tony's dad says, "We're done here." Because I mean, you just signed a 61-year-old man who cannot compete because he's not medically not allowed. Yeah. To a multi-year deal, you're going to make him a weekly character. What are you going to do with him? His whole character is built around this mystique that he's spent an entire career cultivating, and you're going to put him in front of your crowd every week?
He can't talk. It's not even like
he does not talk.
So he's not allowed to wrestle. So he's not allowed to wrestle, and he can't talk.
And then you got Chris Jericho on Instagram and Twitter teasing a match.
Oh, maybe he's gonna have a match, boys.
That'll be
maybe they're gonna pay that Lloyd's of insurance policy off.
Listen, let's roll it around. Let's talk about WWE. Same thing. Undertaker. They're already talking about he's gonna wrestle at Crown Jewel.
Bullshit.
Already. already. We're what, 2 weeks removed from Survivor Series when he retired, and they're talking about he's going to be at Crown Jewel already. Come on,
those aren't real shows. Those don't count.
Yeah, but they're still putting them on the network, still in front of us.
Look, I agree. I'm not. I don't disagree with you. In my head, to make it all feel better, so that I can sleep well at night, those shows don't count for me. Just saying.
It's a reasonable expectation.
I mean, you want to talk about shows not counting? I mean, we can talk about Super Showdown. I think that was what it was. The Brothers of Destruction versus DX.
It was so bad.
Oh, I mean,
Shawn Michaels hadn't wrestled in like a decade at that point, and literally picked that match up on his back and carried it because Triple H tore a pec, couldn't wrestle. Kane lost his mask, which was very, very out of character for him. To be fair, very out of character because like he wasn't that far removed. But you know what? Just for him, just a fluke. Undertaker clearly was not in any capacity to do anything. I don't know.
Listen, I love The Undertaker, but I don't want to see him wrestle another match.
No, we're good on that.
The Boneyard match was fine. That's a good send-off. Good ride into the sunset.
I'm great with it. I'm great with it. You know what else I'm great with? Kevin Sullivan last week said that if WWE wants to fix all their problems and their woes, to put The Undertaker in charge, and that's exactly what Triple H is trying to do. He's trying to bring Undertaker in as a backstage agent and head coach, so to speak, at NXT.
I do that. Yeah.
I think that's really, really good for everybody involved.
I think that makes a lot of sense, especially during COVID and whatever. I mean, shit, the Undertaker lives in Texas, right? I mean, he could have. I'm sure he's got enough money. WWE could just buy him a house in Florida and be like, "Hey, come hang out here couple weeks a month. We'll pay for your flights." Like literally, like it would be so nothing.
It's win-win for everybody.
We're moving him to NXT.
Yeah, like as a coach, special like, hey, I'm Matt Bloom, but here's my special guest help coach.
Yeah,
Mr. Mark Undertaker.
Matt Bloom is still there, right?
Yeah, Matt Bloom's still there. He's still there.
Yeah, Matt Bloom.
Yeah.
So Taker, Triple H,
way better coach than he is a wrestler. By the way.
Yeah, I was never a fan.
Nah, real bad.
Are you talking about Taker? Or are you talking about Matt Bloom?
Matt Bloom.
Okay.
I don't even remember his
Prince Albert.
Prince
Albert. That was him. Yeah.
And then he was Tensai. And everybody was like he'd come out and people would be like, Albert.
Man.
Prince Albert is a dick piercing, by the way.
Yes.
Guys, let's talk about our match of the week.
Match of the week.
Derek,
you want to lead us off with your match of the week?
Oh, man.
I always go to Tom first. I figured I'd just go ahead and throw to you.
No, you're good.
I want to hear what Derek has to say.
All right, so I've got a little bit of a unconventional match of the week because honestly, I'm going to be straight up with you boys. There wasn't a whole lot that stood out to me that was like, oh man, this is groundbreaking. You know what though? There's a couple honorable mentions, and I know this might get a little bit of flack from you boys since we talked about it earlier, but the Ciampa and what's the guy's name?
Timothy Thatcher.
There it is. Yeah,
old Thatchy boy.
That can.
Yeah, he's got some moxie. He took some shots. I feel like they had a hell of a match.
Almost got his ear knocked off.
He absolutely. He definitely lost some hearing this past weekend. On Sunday night, you know. Yeah. Blood. Good stuff. Liked it. Dug it. What'd you guys think of it?
It was fine. I didn't hate it.
So listen. I have to stop you. Every time Tom says, "Oh, it was fine," he didn't really like it. He didn't really like it. He's just trying to find the silver lining to it.
So it wasn't.
He's so kind to me. Like
he's just bad.
He wears gloves. with me. It's nice.
It wasn't a bad. I'm just saying. Look, if you'd have picked a bad match, I'd have tore into you. But it wasn't a bad match. I don't like Timothy Thatcher. I think his gimmick. I don't know what his gimmick is. He was a bully.
No, there is no gimmick. No,
and I didn't like the build to this match at all either. I just thought like it was like Ciampa just came out and like he didn't like him.
Basically, there was no story. And it was honorable mention. It was just a street fight, man.
And it was like
it was a pounding. I mean, there was blood. There was fisticuffs. That was basically it. Like,
I mean, it's basically that Ciampa didn't like him, and then Ciampa beat the shit out of him. And
I'd almost not even call it a wrestling match.
No, just Ciampa beat the shit out of him.
Like, it was just a fight.
I kind of feel like it's potentially that Ciampa actually doesn't like him in real life and just wanted to actually beat the tar out of him.
He just JBL'd him.
Yeah, I think that might actually be what happened.
That's what it was. The JBL.
And you know what? If we find out that was the case, I'll like it more, honestly. I like the match more if that was the case, because I am a big Ciampa fan, and I am happy to watch Ciampa beat the tar out of somebody. And there were absolutely good points in that. They were all Ciampa high points, but it was.
I'm not angry about that. I didn't come to watch Timothy Thatcher. That's for sure.
No, right? Yeah, no. So that's why I'm not like you. I'm not giving you the kid gloves. I would tell you if you're wrong, but you're not wrong. I think it was good. Ciampa won, which was the right decision. I saw Bleacher Report was like, Timothy Thatcher needs some wins. They didn't need to no, Ciampa should have absolutely beat the tar out of him, which is exactly what happened. It was fine.
Yeah, and he took some hard shots, and honestly, in that regard, I feel like that makes you look like you had a stronger showing because you took some hits and you moved on. And he's still standing, he's doing fine. And honestly, whenever the match was over, the fact that he stood at the top of the ramp and they gave the stare down, like I did not see that coming. Like I thought for sure, like Thatcher's just done. They
made him look real strong on Wednesday too, bud.
I think this is go home. Our first, the first act of a bigger storyline that we're going to see.
Well, I would hope so, because I'll watch it once. I don't know that I want to watch it again.
You almost took the man's ear off.
I'm just saying. I feel like we're driving into Ciampa's last ride, and he's going to try to get as many people over on his way out as he can. Because why else would he work with somebody like Timothy Thatcher? I'm just saying, I love Tommaso Ciampa. I don't want to see him go anywhere. But I'm just saying, if you watch some of these behind the scenes stuff with him, he's getting up there, and he's still for the most part. But for the most part, he's still got his health, and he knows that, and he's got his little girl. He doesn't want to go on the road with the main roster. What else does he have to prove?
I want to see more Ciampa NXT champ run. I want more Goldie.
More of those. Absolutely.
I want more Goldie. I want more. I want more him walking out without. Oh my God! You remember when Ciampa didn't have entrance music? He just walked out. Oh, it's so good. Hey, you remember when Ciampa would walk out and he would wear T-shirts that you couldn't buy?
Yeah.
He'd walk out and be like, "Oh, I want to buy that T-shirt," and I'd go like, "Oh, it's not for sale. You can't buy it." And then you'd look it up, and like Ciampa would have tweeted about, "Hey, do you like my T-shirt? You can't buy it, losers. It's one of a kind." Be like, "Oh, you dick!" I loved it.
Yeah. So anyway, that was honorable mention, but for my match of the week, I can't say that the wrestling itself was fantastic. That's not going to be the case. But Dexter Lumis and Cameron Grimes. I was excited.
Your boy.
I was excited to see this. I was excited to finally see what was next in this. I'm really liking Dexter Lumis's gimmick. At first, I was like, "Oh, it's Dexter from Showtime's Dexter." And he wears similar clothes and everything. I kind of was put off by it, but actually watching him in the ring, it was good. The strap aspect of it, I'm not ever gonna be a fan of that. That's just, it sucks. It handicaps everybody in the match so much.
But the key to the strap match is that the actual original rules of it, because this is an old Jim Crockett Promotions type of match, is that it's not a pinfall or submission. It's touching the four corners of the ring.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. You know what? I never thought of that actually.
And without that stip, it's not a strap match. It's something else, and that I feel like creates more drama, because just a pinfall or submission is not It's like what? Whip them, choke them, do some moves, and that's it. But it needs to be the corner touch thing. Like that's I like why
the corner touch thing.
Yeah, I like the corner touch thing too.
Without the corner touch, it's just not the.
Definitely. It's a no DQ match, is what it is.
Same.
Yeah, basically, when you're tethered to each other. And now you have a choking device attached to your wrist.
I don't know. I didn't mind the match. You know what drove me crazy about the match though? Like halfway through, I started hearing this. I was like, "What the hell is that?" And like I was so focused on the noise that I wasn't paying attention to the match. And they had a dude that was pushing the glass and smacking the fence off the glass. And it just, I spent 10 minutes trying to figure out what the hell was going on. And then I put it together that they were doing that when Dexter Lumis was stalking Cameron Grimes. It took me out of it. You know, I mean, it was what it was. I mean, I feel bad. I feel bad for the way that Cameron Grimes kind of got shoveled away through this whole feud. I mean, yeah, Dexter Lumis is definitely the right choice, but there's something I like about Cameron Grimes, and I don't.
Yeah, I'm not angry about it. I'm happy to see Lumis go on for sure.
I agree though. Well, I agree with you. I think Cameron Grimes deserved better. He should have pulled off one of these a little better.
Yeah, you know, and I don't know if that's just them trying to get him over as like this chicken shit heel or whatever, but it's not working for me. It's just not.
I liked it better when he was dangerous and he would cave in your chest whenever.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
I mean, I see the character depth that they're trying to establish. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
Tom, match of the week, bud. What do you got?
All right, I got an honorable mention, and it's weird that this is the honorable mention, but the women's war game match is my honorable mention, and here's why. So, becoming a huge fan of Raquel Gonzalez, particularly, not love her. Starting,
I'm into it.
Okay, she picked up Dakota Kai, as we know. This is my favorite thing. Beat the hell out of everybody with Dakota Kai. Now, Dakota was on her team, so this is a shift because usually it's like Braun Strowman or Keith Lee picking up somebody who's not on their team and beating up his opposing team with the dude from the opposing team, which I love. But I also love this. This is my favorite thing. Plus, that whole War Games match was great. I really liked it. Io with the trash can on her head jumping off the top. It was great.
That was awesome. Yeah.
It was
honestly the main problems I had with it were with Raquel Gonzalez.
See, I thought she was great because she kept kicking Io out of the cage. I love that.
She missed a lot of spots. I felt like. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love what she did. I love that she beat people with other people. Fantastic. I'm all down for it. But
that's those missed spots, honestly, are why it's not my match of the week. Truth be told, because I agree with you. I do not disagree. My match of the week, though, was Keith Lee versus Riddle versus AJ Styles. That match was phenomenal. It was perfect from start to finish. I loved every second of it. I'm not even that big of a Matt Riddle fan, but such a good match. I loved how it ended with AJ just coming out of nowhere, like Keith Lee was about to win, and then just AJ out of the corner of the screen, like boom, phenomenal forearm. Love it.
I'm really into what they're doing with AJ and his little chicken shit, his chicken shit heel thing that he's got with the big dude.
I love it. That's great.
I wasn't into it at first, but now that like it's marinated a little bit, I'm really liking it because like AJ's such a good heel as it's
evolved too. I feel like it's evolved a little bit.
Yeah, but AJ's such a good heel, and he's not the world's greatest promo, but he's just a top-notch in-ring performer, so that kind of makes up for it. Like he's a really good heel, and at first I was like, man, I'm not into him playing this, this chicken shit heel. I don't like it. I'd rather him just be a heel, and cheat and do things. And, now he's like standing behind Almost and, all this and all that. I don't know.
Yeah, I really enjoy him with Almost.
I'm digging it now, though. I'm digging it now. Yeah, I wasn't at first, but I'm digging it now.
I do. I like it. And I don't hate AJ on the mic. I used to. And I wouldn't even say hate. It was just not great. His in-ring work is where he spoke. It was not on the microphone. That's for sure.
I feel like AJ's promo, as far as AJ, I think he's gotten more freedom. I feel like AJ's promos are much better than, like, his heel promos are good. His face promos were not. They were fine. They were Roman Reigns-esque face promos. But his heel promos are like, okay, AJ, say what you want to say. When he like Carl Anderson's like, you got it, bro. You got it, bro. You got it, Uncle Alan. Thank you, Carl.
Man.
Walter, what are your matches of the week, my friend?
So for me, some of that. I had unpopular opinion, I bet. The men's war game match was an honorable mention for me.
Oh, it was good.
It was good.
I mean, they totally they cradled Pat a lot. But Pat did you. Like they led Pat through that. But to be fair, Pat, he got his spots in and he didn't look terrible. And
wow. I feel like you guys are being way too kind.
Maybe.
This is a pay-per-view. This is not.
I mean, his promos pick it up, though. His promos, like, make up for it.
Listen, that swanton off the top of the cage, I was into it.
I'm not going to, I can't take that away from him. But I sure as shit can say that he was not necessarily ready for a 35-minute main event pay-per-view match.
Well, he spent a lot of it not participating.
Exactly. Which is not what I came here to see. And it doesn't even make sense.
No, that made sense.
No, but what doesn't make sense is it's 4 men versus 3 at this point the entire time.
If you think about it.
And you know this was going to be the case. Yeah. It's crazy.
That's why they lost. That's why they lost.
Hey, listen, and here's a question I have for you guys. I'm glad we got to talk about war games a little bit. You know, like I'm sitting there and I'm watching, and I was like, this man advantage thing's kind of a crock of shit. Because I feel like if I was a team captain, I would want to have the last fresh man in.
What? Yeah. I mean, theoretically, in my opinion, actually, I'd want the first guy in because, you know, you start with 2. I'd want the next guy to come in because I would want like to have that be the most even match and then have it be 2-on-1 for whatever it is, 2 minutes. And then get like, just take that guy out. Because it's 3 minutes. That's right. I forgot it's 3 minutes. Yeah. And you just take that guy out, like just sort of, you kill that person and they're dead, right? Like you've killed them. Yeah. They're totally like, they're actually, like, you just snap their neck. They're totally dead. Right.
They're Orange Cassidy.
They're exactly. And you stack that corpse outside and then it's like, it's 2-on-1 for the rest of the match. You just snap necks for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
That's how I do it.
It's how it should be. If we wanted to make this an actual believable thing where at one point they Undisputed Era, which I love, Undisputed Era, everybody knows this at this point, but for the brand was stuck on the outside between the cage and the ropes. And Undisputed Era, they were like lined up like it was like an like a free kick in soccer or something, and just started taking runs, and it was ridiculous. And I'm the number one person that will come in and suspend disbelief and watch me some wrestling and be entertained, and that's wrestling. But it's just enough. It's way too much. Really,
it's hard to get on the spot fest.
Yeah, and I could even go for a high-flying spot fest. But a freaking weird-ass, I'm stuck to the wall, and I don't know how to get out of a tight space?
Yeah.
Knee fest?
I agree with you.
No.
I thought it was fine. I didn't put it as my match of the week or anything. I thought it was – I enjoy War Games as a gimmick match. But to me, it was just like – it was the thing.
I love War Games, but the women knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, I thought the women's one was better too.
The men sucked.
I think it sucked, but it wasn't as good.
Thanks, Pat McAfee. You ruined Undisputed Era.
So I have, as always, I have 2 honorable mentions. The second honorable mention was the North American Championship Triple Threat match. Leon Ruff, Damian Priest, and Johnny Gargano. I mean, I was into it, man. I enjoyed it. You know.
That was the worst match on the card.
I liked it.
That was a wet turd and a soggy knapsack.
Damn.
Total
That was fucking awful. Is what that was. I give that 1 out of 5 stars. When that was over, I was like, I can't believe I watched that. I wish I had that time back. I don't know how long it was, but however long it was, I want it back because I hated that. I hated every second of it. I hated the ghost faces. We
got Austin Theory.
Hold on. Thank you. Yes, I was gonna come with that, and I was hoping that we would find a way to lead into this. But how excited is everybody that Austin Theory is back?
I'm pumped.
Am I the only one?
Theory's back.
It's great. Look, it's great that he's back.
All right.
This is the stupidest way. This is the stupidest way to. Are you going to bring Stone Cold Steve Austin back this way? It would have been stupid.
Oh man, it ties into pop culture because there's a Scream 5 coming out.
No, stupid.
No, Scream 5. Scream 5.
Scream 4 was stupid. Scream 3 was stupid. Scream 2, what stupid?
No, easy. Scream 2 was a fucking classic, and you know it. Damn it.
Okay, you're right. All right, what was the main match? Okay.
Well, my match of the week was the Women's War Games match.
Okay, good stuff.
Yeah, all right.
A couple things that we didn't already discuss. The big thing for me, Io Shirai lost clean to Raquel Gonzalez.
As she should have.
I feel like Io Shirai was really poor in that match, though. She had a cool entry, I know, with the garbage can. But overall, she was really sloppy, I felt like. Sorry, boys.
It wasn't her best showing, but no. I like
everybody else needed to be her best showing.
Everybody else kind of picked it up.
She's gonna give up that belt soon.
Well, I think so too. But you know what I really liked about the Women's War Games match? Candice looked really, really strong in that, like, as a heel, because of like how well like she captained her team and they were telling that story and like, hey, do this and do that, and then the whole gimmick with like trying to keep Io Shirai out of the ring and then locking the cage, and that was like, I loved that part of it, and that was what made that the match of the week for me, was because of that storytelling part of it. There was some botches, there were some missed spots, and then at one point we heard Ember Moon, call the spot. The 6-woman spot in the 2 corners of the rings. You could hear Ember call the spot.
I hated that.
There was a couple things like that, but for the most part,
too long to get into position on that.
Yeah, for the most part, though, the story was good, and I really liked that Candice looked really strong coming out of that, and hopefully we get that. What we talked about last week, maybe Candice is the one that takes the belt off of Io, and then her and Rhea Ripley have a feud or something like that. Because I would be into that.
I think that's what's going to happen.
I would definitely be into that. So, be interested to see how that plays out over the next few weeks. Although Candice got hurt in the match when she did the ladder spot with the chair. I think it was with Shotzi Blackheart when she pulled the chair on top of her. I guess she actually had her arm pinned real funny. So she's like legitimately injured coming out of that match. So
that sucks. Well,
hopefully.
Yeah, I feel like she's got a title run coming on. So good one this week, boys.
Yeah, I thought we had a real good show. I thought we had a real good week in wrestling too. I mean, it's easy to do good shows when you have good weeks in wrestling.
It was a better podcast than I had week.
Well, that's good. That's good. I'm sorry. Listen, hopefully next week, pal, I'll have a little present for you. We'll get to meet up,
I don't need a present, Walt. I just need my house to not fall apart, and I need all the showers and toilets to drain properly and not into my little storage area in the basement. That's what I need.
Yeah, heard that. Adult life.
Yeah, adult life.
Yeah.
Hashtag dad life.
Hashtag dad life.
So, take us out.
Again, great show. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Tom, happy birthday. One thing I haven't mentioned in a couple of weeks, and I mean, whatever, make sure you follow us on social media. Help us out, at @1_FallWC on both Twitter and Instagram. And if you like what we're doing here on YouTube, give us a little comment, a little like, maybe hit that subscribe button. That's awesome. That'll help. And then if you click on the episode link, we have a place where you can help the show. I'm not asking everybody to do that, but if you're digging what we're into, what we're doing, we want to keep bringing it to you. So every little bit helps. We appreciate everybody taking the time out of their week to listen to us. I know for me, for one, I love sitting back and watching the show grow, because I know that, the three of us are putting in some time and some effort into this, and, lots of conversations and things like that. So we want to keep trying to do the best for you, the listeners, the audience, so show some love. We're going to keep showing love. We're going to keep doing what we do. We'll see you next time. It's all love. Thanks for hanging out. One Fall WrestleCast. Later.